Good evening. Hello to another day's vacation. Oasis. Hey, well, good evening, guys. Hope everybody's having a good start of the week. Happy Tuesday. Welcome in, welcome in. Don't Please don't forget to please feel free to say hello. And if you're ninja watching, thank you for ninja watching. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up and share out. And if you're new to my channel, please if you enjoyed this stream tonight, then please check out. And then there's our good friend, Mama D, Debbie Bernfeld. Hello, Debbie. Always good to see you. Good to see our friends tonight, guys. Well, we're into December. We're only about 22 days away from Christmas. And there's always our good friends. And of course, some of our Disney friends are getting ready to come travel here to Disney. I hope you're staying warm, Debbie. I don't know how cold it is down there, but it's pretty chilly up here in northern Florida. So I hope you guys are warm down there in South Florida, because we sure ain't up here. Hey, Paul, good to see you, buddy. Always good to see our good friend Paul Engel in as well. So I don't know if it'll be a long stream tonight, guys. I didn't have time to prepare today for anything much. So I just thought we'd do our show on I don't. It's too cold up here. It's freezing. I've got two small heaters going on. Well, I can't tell you this, guys. Keep in prayers that everything works out. I won't. I really don't want to say what's going on, but I did get some good news this afternoon regarding my situation. So just to give you guys an update. Yeah, poor me. I'm freezing up here. I have to have heaters. Something unfair about that. That's right. Poor me. Poor me. But no. But we did get some good news about the whole situation. If everything works out, hopefully, I'm praying that maybe within a month I can be in a house. If it goes right. But I'm not really gonna say anything, guys, until the end of the week, until I know what's going on for sure, and see where we're at, see what's happening. But hopefully everything will go right and go good. But obviously, we're speaking of traveling, and I know some of you guys are getting ready to travel, especially down here to Magical Night of Hope. I thought we'd talk about travel tips. Yeah, I'm hoping so, Debbie. It would be the first time in several weeks that it's been good news. But tonight we're just going to talk about simple travel tips. You know, especially especially this time of year with the cold front coming through. I know a lot of places have been sandbarged with snow. Um, so traveling to airports is getting rough. Traveling by cars is extremely rough in certain areas. Traveling by railway is, but that's why we talk travel tips. Obviously, it's important, especially this time of year, especially depending on where you're at, where you're living at. Jason Thibodeau, welcome in, buddy. Good to see you. Good to see you. It's always good to see you. But anyway, so as you're traveling, you guys in chat, tell me some of the things that you guys do to prepare for travel. What do some of you guys do to prepare for travel? I know me when we were a family, we'd have everything packed the week before our travel. Um, and then we would pack. I mean, mostly when I was a kid, we would travel by car, and we would pack the car up at the night before. So, like, if somebody had to work late, or maybe Dad had to work a half day, because believe it or not, we sometimes we would travel at night, and we would leave late in the evening and travel through the night. Um, when we were real young, as we got older, we would travel, leave early in the morning, and then travel through the day, and then get a hotel room to stay at night. I don't know which was more fun, traveling during the night in the back of a small Chevrolet, or getting a hotel room. I mean, obviously, it's more comfortable in the hotel room, but there was some fun to traveling in the back of a small Chevette. We would put the seat down, and then me and my other three siblings would just lay down and go to sleep, and Mom and Dad would travel through the night. We'd all wake up, stop somewhere, change into our day clothes, and get breakfast, and continue to head on our travel. So it was a lot of fun times traveling. What are you guys in the chat? Tell me, what were some of the most fun times that you did as far as traveling, or where are some of the fun things that you traveled to? Oh, got me tired. But anyways, I mean, so traveling, you know, because we know traveling's about relaxation. Not dealing with any stress. I mean, that's why we go on. Well, that's kind of interesting. Well, I'm not sure you have to travel to see Stephanie now, Paul. I'm pretty sure she's pretty close. But yeah, I mean, even then though, you still have all the things about packing. Well, I mean, I have to pack, but what am I going to pack in? All my stuff is packed in suitcases now. I have to go through everything and straighten everything out to see what I need to take, what I don't need to take. Thick coats. No, actually, Debbie, I do the same thing. I usually am packed about 6 days out and make sure I got everything. Mom was like that too. She would have everything packed up the week before, and so that we would pack the car the night before, and then we would take off early in the morning. Oh, so you had what's the father? Well, how about as an adult, Jason? Where's the how's the where's the most that you ever traveled to as an adult? You got lost in Costco. How do you get lost in Costco? Okay, Debbie, no problem. I haven't had dinner yet, so just go make me hungry. Sure. Mention cucumbers, make me hungry. Hello, Joe. Welcome in. Good to see you. Good to see you. Now, how did you get lost at Costco? I wouldn't think it's possible to get lost at Costco. Oh my God! Well, didn't they make new maps for you? Well, how dare them make you get lost in Costco? Shame, shame, shame. Oh. Well, there's where Jill travels to, and we know Jill travels. That's about it. I think they all do that. Walmart's is no Walmart's was notorious for moving things around. Anyway, so we were talking about travel tips, Jill, and we were actually talking about what were some of the things that you guys always did to prepare for trips when you were young. I mean, like Debbie said that she would pack they would, as a kid, her family would pack the car in the morning, said they're leaving early in the morning, but would get a start late. I know we always, oh, did you? Just carry it. Mm. You know, for a while, I got that way too. Ah, you didn't leave California until you were 16, which was when you moved to Virginia. Okay. Oh man, so you had a lot of you guys. So as you were tracking across country, you were planning on stopping at a lot of sites, but because your car broke down, you didn't. Ooh, I hate when that happens. That royally stinks. But anyways, yeah. Oh my goodness, breakdowns. That's got to be the worst part of traveling, especially by vehicle. Um, I'll tell you, one of the worst times to break down. Oh, well, that's a shame. That's a shame, Jill. Man, that royally stinks. I can tell you one of the worst times I've ever broke down was it was me, mom, dad, my older sister, my younger sister, and me. And we I think we were heading back from Florida. We had come down for Florida for a few days. It started to head back, and we broke down just south of Atlanta. Oh my word, was it a nightmare? But whew, I'm losing it. Boy, am I more tired than I. Getting up and going to work at 5:30 in the morning is not the easiest things, and then try to stay and do shows at night. But yeah, so like I was saying, we broke down Atlanta. I think we were out, and this we're talking a heat of summer, okay? And anybody that's been through Georgia through the heat of summer, especially around Atlanta, knows it is bloody murder. I mean, we were sitting out in the sun for at least 2, 3 hours. I mean, even after about an hour, hour and a half, it finally got to the point where my dad and older sister they walked to the nearest place to try to find someone to get help, and it's just crazy. You did Atlanta in March there, and daughters. Oh, did you? Nice. That's cool, Joe. I know for me that you know what, the only part about I just don't like Atlanta. I got to admit, I don't. You know, it used to be that you could take the bypasses around and wouldn't have no trouble. Now it doesn't matter whether you take the bypasses around or take the main road through Atlanta. They're just because the bypasses today are, especially around holidays, bypasses are nuts trying to get around the big cities. getting ready to break down. Wow. So I can guarantee you this is going to be a short one. Just remember, I guess this is my way of saying, when you're traveling, be safe, guys, because I know a lot of you guys are getting ready to go to Disney and the Magical Night of Hope, which is this coming, no, which is coming in a week from Saturday on the 14th. Um, and some of you guys are going to be traveling quite far. Just make sure you stay safe, bundle up, make sure you take care of yourselves and be ready to go when it is. Well, it's not next weekend. Next weekend is not next weekend. This coming weekend. I mean, 2 weekends from now, something like that. We're still early in the first week of December. What, for the Magical Night of Hope, Paul? Hmm. Yeah, we know that, Joe. We can't wait to see that one too. Looking forward to well, see, even then you yep, 81 days. Can't go wrong with that, Joe. And of course, we hope you have fun, Paul and Stephanie. One of these days, I'll catch up with you guys. A little nervous. How could you be getting nervous, Debbie? You're only flying a couple hours. Where are you flying to again? Yeah, it would be good to be able to see them. Unfortunately, I won't be able to be there, but well, of course, Debbie, of course. Yeah. Well, hopefully you guys will all be able to see a lot of each other and y'all have a good time and fun because, again, that's the part of the travel when you actually are traveling to people or places to see. Wow. Anyways, but yeah, it's Well, hey, at least it's a short flight, Debbie. With it being so short, you can take over. I don't know. It's all good. Hmm. How to get Debbie lost. That would make a good tutorial. No, no, no. Well, you know what they say about short things. They tend to be long drives. telling you guys. Hey, Mary Carol, good to see you. Am I awake? I don't know, Debbie. My body's just been tired. We've been back and forth trying to get things done, and it's been kind of crazy between the weather here, and yeah, it's taken my body toll today. Well, what can you say? That is, those catalogs will weigh you down everywhere. Yeah, but you know, oh, travel, travel, travel. It's that time of year because, like I said, even I now have to pack, and oh, I haven't gone through. The funny thing about it is, this will be the first time in 20 years that I will have to go through the TSA security airport. Not looking forward to it when I go home to Michigan for the holidays. Hello, Mary Carol. Good to see you. I hope Adam, Blake, and Reba are doing good. But yeah, it ought to be fun going through TSA security airport. That is true. That is true, Jill. But mm. So, what are some things that I'm just curious. Do you guys just throw everything together, or do you guys make a list of everything you got to do? Because one thing that my mom always did when we were traveling, she always had a list of everything that needed to get done for each day prior to leaving on our trip. Wow. In other words, they almost pulled let's see, they almost pulled a Police Academy 5. Holy mackerel. Mm. Yeah, my mom was too. In fact, she had a list of everything needed to be packed, and had a list of everything they need to had a list of everything. It must be a lady thing. Must be a lady thing that when they're going on trips, you guys have a list of everything that needs to get done on certain days just before the trip. But oh well, see, yeah, mom don't go that far. Mom never did go that far ahead, but she knew she had she actually did it 2 weeks ahead. She would say, okay, I need to get this ready, get this way, and she need to get re-prescriptions on their medicines. She would make sure she got that. She just had a list of everything to do that she needed to get done before she had, besides packing. I did it the easy way. I always waited. I would pack. I packed 4 or 5 days before the trip. Yeah, I would actually pack about 4 or 5 days before the trip, and looks like except this time around, I may have to go do a little bit of packing early. So, I mean, it's one thing to just travel and have fun. It's a whole different ballgame when you got to pack. And of course, unfortunately for me, mom ended up always having to pack for dad too. So she was actually double packing. I always packed myself, but always, I always waited to not quite the last minute, but I waited as close as I could before I actually packed. Well, I hope so too, Debbie. I definitely hope so too, because it's always important to make sure you have the right suitcase. In fact, I just bought a whole set when we had to move out of the house. When it was destroyed, I had to end up buying a whole suitcase set, and I used every one of them. Now I'm going to have to bring in my big suitcase and go through that and see what I got. Maybe I'm hoping that I won't have to pack majorly and just take my big suitcase. I'm doing good, Mary Carol. Tell Adam Blake and Reba I said hi. I hope you guys are doing good. That's good to hear. Yeah, I mean it's crazy on what y'all have to pack sometimes. And then when you're trying to pack when you're trying to pack like I am, it's a blooming nightmare. I mean, oh, here's the biggest questions. How many of you guys, ooh, when you were traveling when you were younger, if you did travel, did anybody ever use traveler checks? How many of you guys, how many of you guys or knew people that when they traveled when they were younger used travel checks? I know growing up, my parents when mom would the way mom did it, she would separate, okay, this money is for traveling to wherever we're going to. Then she would have two allotments set for then she would have, yeah, back in the day that's about it. Now it's more credit cards, exactly, Jill. Exactly. Ooh, really, Jill? Your rolling suitcase wants to go every which. Yeah, some of those rolling cases. Oh, I don't use traveler's checks now. I make sure I have enough money on me, and then I make sure I definitely make sure my credit cards are good, and I make sure that I have much enough. I keep so much in the bank account, but I do keep a certain amount. I do travel with a certain amount of money on me. Oh my goodness, yeah, that was crazy. Yeah, that's when you were young, Debbie. Yeah, travel. I don't know whoever thought of traveler's checks was nuts. Traveler's checks was. Here's the crazy thing about traveler's checks. You always had. Sometimes it was the hard. Was it just me, or did anybody else that used traveler's checks find it hard to get them cashed in certain places? But yeah, yeah, it was always crazy, especially. Yeah, okay. So see, it exactly. And that's what was crazy, Demir. Yeah, well, exactly it is. But I tell you one thing, traveler checks, bleh. That's interesting that you say that, Joe. That is interesting that you say that because it's funny. It's funny how things were. I mean, I'll tell you, I'm glad. I'm glad as kids we didn't have to have travelers checks. We just kept our money on us and we were good. I don't. I just could not see. I swore as when I was growing up, I would never, ever, ever use travelers checks. I don't even know if travelers checks are around anymore because everything's gone digital. It's all credit cards or debit cards. So now, but the one thing that hasn't changed, I don't know. Did you always find yourself? Now, Jill, when you guys are traveling, you find out that you carry so much money with you and not always rely on your credit cards? Because I know on cruise ships, it's always wiser to have some money and not always have. Yeah, and that is true because I do know American Express was the first one to be founded. Mary, this was a long, 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 long time ago. This was before any of the millennials. I'm surprised anybody uses them anymore because now you got credit cards and everything else and debit cards. And I know for me, even when I'm traveling by car, I always still love to have a certain amount of money. The problem is with prepaid visit cards, they don't always work. At least the Visa cards that I always got from time to time, sometimes they would say, not effective, not effective, not effective, until you keep calling them and say, look, this is. Yeah, that's the crazy thing of them, Jill. But then that's the way. That's why the U. That's kind of why the U.S. got away from travelers checks. You just didn't. You can't. They were hard to cash. You had to find a place to cash them, and then most of those places, you ended up have to spend so much money before they would cash it. But yeah, it's crazy with travelers checks these days. That's why I'm looking forward to that. I know when I get ready to travel to Michigan, which I got to start getting ready for in a few weeks, I will make sure I have so much money in my wallet. Well, I'll tell you what, they can keep their travelers checks. I don't want them. They are worthless. They're more worthless than the dollar bills. I mean, you couldn't get me to take a traveler's check. You couldn't get me to take a traveler's check now if you offer me all the gold in Fort Knox. And legitimately, there is no gold at Fort Knox. But I don't know how anybody ever used them, especially after seeing mom and dad try to use them, and you'd have to write one and two, and yeah, I still don't know though. I don't fully trust the prepaid visas. Like I said, some of the prepaid, especially the prepaid visas through the stores, some of the prepaid Visa cards through the stores are, oh my goodness, they are a pain in the royal derrieres. But yeah, no, I will. Now I don't have to worry as much because now I got a couple of credit cards, and I'm getting ready to pay them down so that I have those ready for vacation. And, obviously, I'll keep money on hand with me so that I have money. Well, and it depends on where you tried to use traveler's checks because, and I suppose maybe traveler's checks are, I suppose the traveler checks are okay for traveling on Europe, but exactly. That's why, honestly, because most countries take the US dollar, but when they give you back change, they usually give it to you in the amount of currency. Because actually, I know with Canada, when you use a certain amount of things, you actually tend to get a little bit, is it more back or the dollar is a lot less than what they whatever they call the money in Canada. Goons, gooses, whatever, something like that. But yeah, it's always crazy. But yeah, well, no, Canada accepts American money, but it's a total. The value between the two of them are definitely a difference. I mean, I couldn't tell you what the value of the Canadian dollars and what the U.S. dollars are, but there's definitely a big difference in value of in between them, though, for sure. So obviously you want to make sure that when you are traveling, you got the right. Make sure you got if it doesn't hurt to get them into the right currency. Now, for me, I don't always get it, even though once in a while, well, when mom was alive, we would go over to Canada to go to the Windsor Casino. Um, in fact, I actually stayed in, actually, for one, I can actually honestly stay. I can actually say I stayed out of the side of the U.S. one time, and that's when we stayed at the Windsor Casino a couple of nights. Um, what was that? About 4 years ago. It would have been about 4 or 5 years ago. We stayed at the Windsor Casino, and it was fun. I gambled. I think I didn't gamble too much, but I think I stayed up till about 1 in the morning doing a little bit of the slot machines. Yeah, you actually got. Oh yeah, I don't know what the rate is now. It's been a long time, but yeah. Oh, and it's always fun. All right, guys. Yeah, have a good night. I'm actually going to wrap it up, guys, because I haven't had dinner yet. Um, I just wanted to make sure I did my show tonight, but I hope you guys just, I hope you guys had fun just talking travel tips and having a little fun of talking you know, different travel things and all that tonight. It was simple. We'll get back onto our normal routine things for next week. And well, we were glad you were welcome back, Mary Carol. I'm glad you were here. Anyways, guys, have a great night. And yeah. Anyways, have a great night, guys, and we'll see you all later. Bye.